All praises to the Most High, acknowledgement to the earthly mother who is wisdom, whom some call Sophia, and our brother Yahweh Shai. If you notice, once again, we've been dealing with scoffers and reprobate spirits that always come through on the comments and they come on the channels and they try to dispute what we believe and what we teach. But notice how none of them really, they never bring evidence. The only thing they can do is just ramble and actually just sound ignorant. So before we get started and move through the spirit, we're about to play Rising featuring Yahoshua's music. It's on Big Levi's CD, The Sacrament, which came out in 2025. Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. So once again, like I said earlier, we've been dealing with a bunch of scoffers. And when you actually look at it, and come to the understanding that what they're doing is basically it's a defense mechanism. They can see everything that they covet and cherish literally going down the drain. Their system is being crushed. They're being swept off the lands. Their properties are being destroyed. And it's it's a fear. There's really nothing that they can do. They can't lash out at the most high. So what they'll do is that they'll lash out at his people because a hit dog will holler. And the most high, they can't do nothing to him. So once again, they will target his people. So there's been a clown that's been on my channel for the past 24 hours. And my channel is relatively new. I only have a few lessons up, but yet this person feels that I'm worthy enough to come on here and dispute what I'm saying. They never give evidence, they never give proof. It's always emotional rants. So, like I said earlier, like I told him, that we have something for him. Now, what we're going to do through the spirit and as a nation is that we're going to decimate his entire premise step by step. It's this fool, Adrian. And when I say 24 hours, it's just been Twitter fingers, just 24 hours, just typing away and just speaking madness and pure ignorance. Now, let's go through all of this person's comments because they made four. The people you claim to be still live there, idiot. Now, this is his last comment. What we're going to do, we're working backwards. The indigenous never went away. Now, once again, we've spoken about those bywords, about using words like indigenous, black, African American, FBA. People use these words and really don't know what they mean. So once again, like I said, we're going to watch this person just get decimated through the spirit. There is no black indigenous to the Americas. How dare you try to erase our pain and suffering? You're delusional, and your delusion is because you refuse the truth, which comes from feeling sorry for yourself as you bark back. I don't feel sorry for myself. You do. Defense mechanism. This is what we call projection. Now, there are people out here who aren't even in the truth, who are bringing numerous receipts stating that so-called black people are native to these lands. This person knows this. So, since they can't deal with the information and deal with the truth, they always project. Now, four cornerstones of a defense mechanism would be avoidance, denial, projection, and distortion. Now, once we go through all of this person's comments, you will see this fool touches every single point. Now, this one is also projection and it's avoidance because they are avoiding the proof and the history being brought out. And actually, it's denial also, and it's distortion. And like I said before, this is the last comment. So this is a culmination of this person's madness. Now, Let's go through it step by step. The people you claim to be still live there, idiot. The indigenous never went away. Now, I'm not sure if this fool is talking about the place they call Israel right now or the Americas. Because once again, this person was all over the place. But once again, let's prove this person wrong. The indigenous never went away. There is no black indigenous. It's R. There are no black. And this person's an idiot. You can tell by the constant typos and grammatical errors. And in no way am I the internet speech police, but I can understand you take a your that's Y-O-U-R, that should be Y-O-U, comma R-E, and you spell it incorrectly. But when you do it constantly, you lack reading comprehension skills, and it's apparent. Now, this is the emblem of America. Now, look at that person. Look at that picture. An emblem of America. Let's read the subcaption. Title: An Emblem of America. London, published the 1st of February, 1801 by Haynes and Son British Museum text with the etching quote, allegorical figure shown full length standing to left, head tilted to right, wearing a leopard skin. Wearing a leopard skin. Museums are, of course, the main supports for the albinos. We know what that means, false histories. In this case, the animal skin is called a leopard skin to imply that the figure is African or somewhat associated with Africa. Actually, the headdress supports one of the Black California tribes, Queen Khalifa. Do your research. And the spotted animal skin could be ocelot, California bobcat, or Canadian lynx. But once again, this knucklehead sees pictures like these because these are all over social media. They are all over social media. This person is seeing their whole life slip away into an abyss, and there's nothing that they can do to combat it. So once again, they need to come and they need to lash out at us because they can't do anything to the Most High and stop what he's doing and prove his people wrong. Now let's go a little bit further. All right, let's go to Ecclesiastes 25:7. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. And seeing these people just lose it and falling, it makes us happy. It makes us happy through the spirit. And that is righteous. And they don't like that either. Now, once again, this person, here's another comment. Like I said, they were just coming back and forth, just rambling. Just because you invent history doesn't make it true. When the Spaniards arrived here, they had a black man with them. He was blamed for spreading smallpox to the indigenous people. He caused quite a stir because no one had ever seen a black man before. Now, where you come from, you're known as a prophet killer. Okay, now let's destroy this. We just showed the picture where dark skinned natives were already here. So that's a lie. And as for the black man, quote unquote, who came on the boat that spread smallpox, I've heard that lie before, and that's really easy to disprove. And we're about to do that right now. Now, this is from the Spartacus, educational. Now we already know this, like this is like common knowledge, but let's read it. Journey to America. In the 19th century, sailing ships took about 6 weeks to cross the Atlantic. With adverse winds or bad weather, the journey could take as long as 14 weeks. So we'll call it an average of around 10 weeks. No, but we'll give it an average 10 weeks. When this happened, passengers would often run short of provisions. Sometimes captains made extra profits by charging immigrants high food, high prices for food needed to survive the trip. Now, the focus of this paragraph right here is the amount of time it took to sail from Europe to the Americas. 6 weeks across, 14 weeks with bad weather. And once again, we'll work with the median. We'll work with 10 weeks. Now, check this out. Here is the incubation for chickenpox. The normal chickenpox timeline, because you know these clowns are slow. You know, we have to really spoon feed these idiots. So let's take a look at the incubation, the normal incubation for chickenpox. Day 1 through day 2. Incubation ends, prodrome. Fever, tiredness, headache, loss of appetite. No rash yet, but virus is active. Day 3 through 7. Rash appears and spreads. Red spots turn into itchy fluid filled blisters. Rash comes in waves for several days on torso, face, arms, legs, even mouth, scalp. Fever may rise. This is all common knowledge. We all know this. We've known this since childhood. Days 7 through 10. Blisters crust over. The blisters begin to dry and scab. Person is still contagious until all blisters scab. Day 10 through 14. The last time I checked, 14 days will be 2 weeks. Scabs harden, itching lessens, fever and other symptoms fade. Most people feel normal again. 2 to 3 weeks. Rash is gone. Those scabs may leave temporary marks. Obvious. Virus is dormant inside nerves. Person is no longer contagious. So if a person is no longer contagious after 3 weeks and it takes 10 weeks, you know what? I'll give you 6. I'll say they had smooth sailing. We'll say they had smooth sailing and they made it from Europe to the Americas in 6 weeks. This so called black man would have not been contagious for at least 3 weeks. So, what are you talking about? Like we always say, these people just get on here with these emotional rants. They don't read, they don't study, they don't research, and they refuse to reason out of matter. So that destroys that lie right there. Now, he goes to calling us a prophet killer. I'll deal with that later. That's another source. Did we kill the prophets? Did our ancestors kill the prophets? Yes. And we paid for it. And we're going to bring out scriptures regarding us paying for it and us atoning for it. Now let's backtrack once again, because once again he said, excuse me, that no one ever seen a black man, so called, or black person, because you know they'll take a picture and say, well, you know that picture is brand new, or you know, that picture is modified. Let's go into some text and into some books. Now this book right here is called The Landfall of Leaf Erickson. Now, this is AD 1000. This is way before 1492 and before the conquistadors. Landfall of Leif Erikson, AD 1000. Site of his houses in Vinland by Eben Norton Horsford. And I always like to give the copyright date, 1892. Right, let's go to this quote. The font is small, so let me kind of make it bigger for everybody. Pull it up. Where is it at? Now, this is what they noticed when they arrived in the fourth part. They did so. Thereupon they rode towards them, wondering at them, and came to land. These people were swarthy. I just explained what swarthy meant the other day. Swarthy and fierce, and had bushy hair on their heads. They had very large eyes and broad cheeks. They stayed there for a time and gazed upon those they met, and afterwards rode away southward around the nest. So when the Vikings arrived to the quote unquote Americas, they came across, once again, swarthy, dark colored people. I don't know why you fools come over here. Y'all just make yourself look really, really stupid when you come over here, as if we don't study and we can't prove what we know to be true. Once again, your entire spiel is nothing but deflection. Oh, you hate yourself. You don't want the truth. You're projecting. You're in denial. You're trying to distort the facts. Now, let's pull up another source. This one is called A Book of American Explorers by Thomas Wentworth Higginson. Let's give the copyright date, 1877. Okay, we're going to start here. And we're going to go about right here. Let me maximize it so people can see it. Let me highlight it again. Here we go. And standing fair along by the shore, about 12 of the clock the same day, we came to an anchor where 8 Indians in a Basque shallop with mast and sail, an iron grapple, and a kettle of copper came boldly aboard us. One of them apparelled with a waistcoat and breeches of black serge made after our sea fashion, hose and shoes on his feet. All the rest, saving one that had a pair of breeches of blue cloth were naked. These people are of tall stature, broad and grim visage, of a black, swart complexion, their eyebrows painted white. That's another witness. When they came over here, they saw people like this. This person is just upset because they cannot prove anything that we say incorrect. Now let's read the caption for this photo. A female of Tierra de Fuego, engraving from a drawing by Johann, I think that's Elay, from Ebenezer Sibley's Universal System of Natural History, 1794. Tierra del Fuego is an archipelago of the southernmost tip of South American mainland across the Strait of Magellan. The archipelago is divided between Chile and Argentina. But there was no black people. You're not indigenous. There was no black people in the Americas. Blah 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 blah. They wouldn't know the truth if it moved in with them and sat down next to him on their couch. Now let's get back to his accusation about us killing the prophets. And he goes to Matthew 23:31. That's fine. Let's go there. Matthew 23:31. Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are children of them which killed the prophets. Yes, yes, we are. But guess what? We paid for our atrocities. We went through the curses. How about you? How about you? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 44 because it's easy to throw up one scripture out of context and not precept it and give reasoning and understanding. Once again, Isaiah chapter 44, verses 21, 22. Remember these, O Jacob and Yasharallah, for thou art my servant. I have formed thee. Thou art my servant, O Yasharallah. Thou shalt not be forgotten of me. Now, notice how it's reiterated twice. For thou art my servant. I have formed thee. Thou art my servant, O Yasharallah. Thou shalt not be forgotten of me. Verse 22. I have blotted out as a thick cloud thy transgressions, and as a cloud thy sins return unto me, for I have redeemed thee. So Matthew 23:31, we paid for that, and the Most High has redeemed us for that. That's why the curses right now are running you down. Psalms 83. Now let's read Isaiah chapter 43:18 and 19. Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. And we have a lot of people professing to be Israelites. Oh, y'all was wicked. And remember what y'all did in Egypt, and y'all did this, and y'all did that. Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. We've already been through the wilderness. We've already been through the desert. Those were our trials and tribulations. Too many of you are running around in the spirit of Lot's wife. And when I say Lot's wife, I'm not pointing at women. I'm speaking to people in general. Or they were told not to look back, but they keep looking back when we were told not to. Now let's go some more. And then here comes the Christian fear tactics. Then how shall you escape the damnation of hell? The spirit of the Most High told me that's a lie. You know good and well the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob didn't tell you a darn thing. It didn't tell you a thing. Now, this is what our brother Judah was talking about the other day. He thinks this person right here that I'm rebuking, he or she thinks the spirit of the Most High is speaking to them. No, this person is being plagued by our angels. This person's mind, as you can see by the writing, because I showed it, this person's mind is totally vexed. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to believe. They're just confused. Forgive me, I needed a sip of water. Now, the Spirit of God told me that you can write books like the Bible. Pump your brakes. And I know people aren't going to like this. We didn't write the Bible. The Bible is a partial compilation of the stolen Hebraic scrolls transliterated by the heathens. And people need to quit acting like Moshe, pulled up to their house in a chariot and gave them a KJV. Well, that's not in the Bible. Well, that's not in the Bible. Why would the heathens put everything in the Bible? So saying that we wrote the Bible, you kind of that's wrong. And you actually contradict yourself because you said that we invented history. Like, how could we invent history when we was cut off from being a nation? If we didn't if we you said we invented history, how could we write the Bible? But like you are just all over the place. Then this clown continue to state until it becomes a mountain that falls off the earth, and still you be in darkness. It's the mountain Christ spoke of. Doesn't give any more precepts, just rambling. You're several pages behind. This is another projection because through the Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh wisdom, she always tells us when you scoffers are coming to attack. It happens so many times behind the scenes, but everybody's not privy to see that. Then once again, he this person goes and continues to be an accuser of the brethren. Prophet killings, you're in the dark. Once again, YOUR, this person can't spell. And casting against me with your magic, this person must have dyslexia. Because this your the YOUR should be the YOU, man, YOU with the apostrophe RE, they have them transposed. And this is the type of person that's coming against us. Someone who can't even type a coherent, grammatically correct sentence and casting against me with your black magic because you are black. You are darkness in the dark arts. You are living darkness God spoke of, a negative proposition of hate and treachery. The Bible has hundreds of stories of your treachery, and the scriptures also have hundreds of stories of our redemption and repentance. This guy is such a clown. But let's get back to that hell and damnation rhetoric. That's Christianity. That's Hellenism. That's Hellenized rhetoric. The ancient Hebrews had no concept of a place where you burn for all eternity. They had a concept of Sheol where spirits went to rest and some went for judgment. But it's not what you're thinking about. So let's go look at that in the Blue Letter Bible. Sheol, the grave, 31 times. Hell, 31. Pit, 3 times. Sheol, underworld, grave, hell, pit, the underworld, and Sheol, the OT designation for the abode of the dead, place of no return, without praise of God, wicked sent there for punishment, righteousness not abandoned to it, of the place of exile, which is figurative. And actually, it's not figurative, it's literal. See, that's why you even have to be leery with these concordances because they're still written from a Constantine Christian perspective. That's why you really need to use discernment. Now it goes from it also states of extreme degradation in sin. So we're going to hell. You're basically telling all of Israel they're going to hell since you stated we killed the prophets that I don't deny. Now let's go to Romans 11:26. And so all Israel, Yasharallah, shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. So if all of Yasharallah shall be saved, what is this rhetoric that you're spewing about? Oh, how shall you escape the damnation of hell? I said it before. Christianity is a mental illness. It is a pure, hardcore mental illness. It's like they don't read, they just come and they spew dogma and they make false accusations. Let's go further. Let's see which one we're going to go to. Let's see which one we're going to go to. Okay, this one, this person, he just rambles again. Brother Sly, he can't spell. Mexico's original people were black and he laughs. We already proved that incorrect. Yeah, see, this is repetitive. He said this earlier. So we're just going to skip that. Like I said, this person cannot form a coherent, linear thought. So when you really can't reason out a matter, what are you forced to do? Ramble. Just ramble. This person is plagued with demons. Once again, another picture of swarthy people in the Americas. But oh, there was no black people. You're not indigenous to the Americas. Just straight madness. This is their fear. Once again, it's a defense mechanism. And Brother Moriel, he put me onto this word, consternation. Let's go into the meaning of it on the Collins Dictionary. Consternation is a feeling of anxiety or fear. And that's just what this is. These people are being destroyed and they don't know what to do. And once again, like I said, this person for the past 24 hours just spewing random nonsense. You're not from Mexico. Once again, it's YOU, with the little symbol they put up there, RE. You're not from Mexico or the Americas. We already proved that wrong, which was Anahuac. And like the white man, you savagely murdered every man, woman, and child. That's a lie. In order to colonize a region where you are not indigenous to, Palestine. Now, what side of the globe are we on? Are we in Mexico or the Americas? Are we in the land of the Philistines? Come on, bro. It's like, come on, man. Like, where you at? No linear thought. It's like there's a quote that I want to say right now, but I'm not going to say it because everybody's not going to get it. But man, you are all over the place. Jerusalem wasn't even built by the ever so proud black Hebrews. It was a conquered city. It was already there. Then the Romans, blah, 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 knocked it all down. And to this day, the black Hebrews have never been allowed to enter into that region. When did I ever profess that I believe that was our homeland? See, you're making assumptions. You come over here with these preconceived thoughts, like like you know what I believe, and like you know my thought process. This person is a straight knucklehead. But once again, they just can't get it. Now, once again, historical and cultural region of Mexico, we already knew that. And notice how this person is saying they're indigenous. Now, I brought this out before, but I need to bring it out again. And this is the meaning of indigenous. It's a byword. It's in, let me get it, a large dictionary in the three parts. Part one, the English before the Latin. Two, the Latin before the English. Three, the proper names of persons, places, and other things necessary to the understanding of historians and poets by Francis Holyoake, published in 1677. See, we do really deep research. All right, let me get it right here. Indigentius, indigens. That is in necessity, wanting, needing, lacking, needy, poor. Indigens, in need of my help, wanting a man, needily, need, want, necessity, lack, poverty, to lack, to want, to have need. He wants your help. Let's highlight this too. I lack your counsel. So every time you say you're indigenous, you are basically claiming that you're a vassal. That's why I don't use that word. Now let's compare the definition of vassal to the definition of indigenous. Vassal. In feudal society, a vassal was a man who gave military service to a lord, in return for which he was protected by the lord and received land to live on. If it's your land, why would it have to be given to you? Let's look further down. If you say that one country is a vassal of one another, you mean that it is controlled by it. Now, let's replace the noun country with another noun, person. If you say that one person is a vassal of another, you mean it is controlled by it. So every time you call yourself indigenous, you are basically claiming vassalhood status. Now, everything this knucklehead said through the spirit, we took and rebuked him or her and pushed it back on them. Genesis 50:20. But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but the Most High meant it unto good, to bring to pass, and it is this day to save much people alive. Now, here's more proof I can bring out. The Aztecs, their history and manners and customs, from the French of Lucien Biart, authorized translation by J.L. Garner, 1877. Now, once again, let's prove that the Hebrews were over here. See if I could maximize this. We're gonna start about right where is it at? Where we're gonna start at? We're gonna start right here. Right here. Transformed into Mexicanos by the express decree of their favorite god, the Aztecs thenceforth possessed a deep feeling of nationality. Like the Hebrews of old, as had been remarked, they considered themselves the people par excellence, and this belief, by the confidence with which it inspired them, enabled them to triumph over vicissitudes against which nascent nations have to contend. Now, doesn't that sound like us? We consider ourselves par excellence. And notice how they always get mad when we do it? Oh, y'all always showing off. Y'all always want to be the center of attention. Don't be mad at us because the Most High made us in His image and gave us the spirit of par excellence. They are just mad. They are so mad that it's us, and there's nothing they can do about it. Now, here's another source. I'm not going to read it all the way through because this video is getting almost to an hour. But let's just touch this point right here. We're going to start right here. Among the Aztecs, as among the Hebrews, a man often married his brother's widow when she had children. On the borders of the empire, the nobles at times married their stepmother if she had no children. In Mexico, these unions were regarded as incestuous and punished as such. Yeah, that sounds like Torah law. And you can go to one of my previous videos. I already did a lesson on that where I brought out a source from um, Hernando Cortez that goes into the quote unquote natives here keeping customs similar to Torah law. Once again, more dark people of the Americas, the Pacific, but there was no black people. Well, you're not indigenous to the land. You're right. We are not indigenous to the land. These are our lands. We're not vassals. There's another picture. French painting of Native American called Wild Native in America. That person is darker than me. And then this person goes in to say that the Most High did not give us the land. Once again, we murdered and we conquered for it. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 11, 8, 9, and 10. By faith, Abraham, which he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out not knowing whither he went. By faith, he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, their heirs with him of the same promise, not the heathens. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's descendants are the heirs of the promise. Verse 10, for he looked for a city which have foundations, whose builder and maker is the Most High. I actually love verse 10 because when I was young in the tabernacle, the choir would sing this. They would sing, it was like the hook for one of the songs. It was like the chorus. Yeah, Good times. Really good times. Let's go to Genesis 12:7. And the Most High appeared unto Abram and said, until thy seed will I give this land, and there buildeth he an altar unto the Most High who appeared unto him. So the Most High gave us these lands. So what are you talking about? Oh, yeah, y'all just took over the land and just slaughtered. That's war. With war comes bloodshed. Let's go to Genesis 15:18. In the same day, the Most High made a covenant with Abram, saying, until thy seed I have given this land from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. Let's go to Jeremiah 51:20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee I will break into pieces the nations, and with thee I will destroy kingdoms. I will break in pieces the nations, and with thee, he's talking to the children of Yasharallah. I will destroy kingdoms. It sounds like you hate the Most High's plan, but didn't you say that God spoke to you? That had to be a God with a lowercase g. Uh, that's the God on the left hand side. That's clearly a demon that's putting these thoughts, these wayward ideas in your feeble brain. Okay, let's go to Exodus 23, verses 30 and 31. By little and little I will drive them out from before thee until thou be increased and inherit the land. Drive them out. It wasn't, well, can you please, get up and leave because our Elohim, the Most High, would really like you to relocate and we're going to set you up. No, no, it was brutal. It was war. Verse 31. And I will set up thy bounds from the Red Sea even unto the sea of the Philistines, and from the desert unto the river, for I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and thou shalt drive them out before thee. Now, this one I had to pull up in the blue letter because I wanted to make something clear and plain. Numbers 23, correction, Numbers 33:53. And ye shall possess the inhabitants of the land and dwell therein. For I have given you the land to possess it. Now let's go and look at what do I want? Dispossess. Yarad, Yaresh. Now let's go and look down at the meaning. Possess out, inherit, heir, possession, succeed, dispossess, poverty, drive, enjoy, poor, expelled utterly. To seize, dispossess, take possession of, inherit, disinherit, occupy, impoverish, be in heir. But let's look further down. Let's kind of dig further down. Let's go here. The Jasenius Hebrew Chaldee lexicon. To take, to take possession of, to occupy, especially by force, especially by force. So once again, make up our mind. Do you agree with the Most High's will or you don't agree with the Most High's will? I can't even say that you're double minded. It's like you're quadruple minded because you're all over the place. And that's why I chose through the Spirit to end this lesson on Titus 3:10. A man that is a heretic after the first and second admonition reject. All praises to the Most High. Shalom.